I was holding my mother's hand when she took her last breath. Room 312, Swedish Hospital, Seattle. She squeezed my fingers once, then let go. It was 3:40, 7 a.m., March 9th. The nurse started crying. I couldn't. I just kissed Mom's forehead, told her I'd see her soon, and drove home on autopilot through the rain. I expected the house to be dark. I expected my wife Emily to be asleep. What I didn't expect was to hear muffled screaming coming from the basement the second I opened the front door. I dropped Mom's purse in the entryway and ran. The basement door was locked from the outside, deadbolt, chain, padlock, all new. I could hear Emily on the other side, voice raw, banging, pleading. David, oh God, David, get me out. She's lost her mind. I fumbled the keys. My hands were still ice, cold from the hospital. When the door finally swung open, I almost fell down the stairs. There was my wife of 23 years, sitting on the concrete floor, wrists and ankles zipped, tied to the old water pipe, duct tape over her mouth, tears and mascara streaking her face. And standing over her, holding the scissors like a weapon, was our 21-year-old daughter, Chloe. Chloe turned when she heard me. Her eyes were wide, pupils blown, but her voice was calm, too calm. Hi, Dad. You're just in time. Grandma's gone, right? Good. Now we don't have to pretend anymore. I couldn't breathe. Chloe, baby, what are you doing? She smiled the same smile she had at 6 years old when she lost her first tooth. Only now there was something broken behind it. Mom was going to leave us. She's been packing for weeks. I heard her on the phone with a lawyer. She wants half the house, full custody of the boys when they visit. And she said you're too weak after Grandma dies. So I fixed it. Emily was shaking her head violently, trying to scream through the tape. I took one step down the stairs. Untie her, right now. Chloe tilted her head. No, Dad. She deserves this. She killed Grandma's spirit years ago with all the fighting. Tonight, she tried to call the police on me. Look. She pointed to Emily's phone on the workbench. Screen cracked. 911, already dialed and disconnected. That's when I saw the duffel bag in the corner. Emily's clothes, passport, cash envelope, plane ticket to Florida, dated tomorrow morning. My daughter had caught my wife running, and decided basement prison was the solution. I looked at the girl I taught to ride a bike, the girl who used to fall asleep on my chest during thunderstorms, and realized I was staring at a stranger. Chloe, I said, voice cracking, give me the scissors. She lifted them higher. Make me. I stood frozen on the basement stairs, staring at my own daughter, holding scissors like a horror movie killer. Chloe's knuckles were white around the handle. Her breathing was steady, almost meditative. Emily kept thrashing against the zip ties, blood already running from her wrists. I forced my voice low and calm, the same tone I used when she was 8 and scared of monsters under the bed. Sweetheart, put the scissors down. We'll talk, just us. Whatever Mom did, we can fix it together. Chloe laughed, a short, sharp sound that didn't belong to my little girl. Fix it, Dad. There's nothing left to fix. She's been poisoning you for months, telling you I'm unstable, dangerous, that I need to be medicated and locked up. She wanted me gone before Grandma died, so you'd be too broken to fight the divorce. Emily's eyes went wide above the tape, shaking her head so hard I thought her neck would snap. I took another slow step down. Where did you even get zip ties and padlocks, Chloe? Internet. Same place I learned how soundproof concrete is when you add egg cartons and moving blankets. I started planning the day Mom booked that ticket to Florida. She gestured to the walls with the scissors. I hadn't noticed before. Every inch covered in glued egg cartons, old comforters stapled over them. The workbench had a neatly labeled binder, Project Home Forever. My stomach turned to ice. How long has Mom been down here? Since 10 p.m. I waited till she took her sleeping pill, then carried her. She's heavier than she looks. Emily's muffled screams got louder, desperate. I was 6 steps away now. Chloe, you're not a monster. You're my daughter. You're hurting. Let me help you. Her eyes filled with tears, real ones this time. You weren't here, Dad. Grandma was dying and you were at the hospital, and Mom was upstairs laughing on the phone with her lawyer about how she'd finally be free. I heard everything. She said when you came home broken from the funeral, she'd have you sign the quit-claim deed while you were grieving, half the house alimony, the boys on weekends. She was going to take everything and leave us with nothing but Grandma's medical bills. I felt the world tilt. Emily and I had been fighting, yes. Money was tight after Mom's cancer, but divorce, I had no idea. I took another step. Give me the scissors, baby, please. Chloe's hand wavered. For one heartbeat I thought she would. Then her face hardened again. No, she stays until she signs this. She kicked a yellow legal pad across the floor. Top page. A handwritten confession titled I, Emily Ann Harper, voluntarily relinquish all claim to the family home and custody. I looked at my wife's terrified eyes and realized my daughter wasn't just holding her prisoner. She was trying to save me the only way her broken mind knew how. I was 3 steps from Chloe when the scissors flashed. She didn't lunge at me. She turned them toward her own throat. One more step, Dad, and I swear I'll open my neck right here. Then Mom gets to explain to the police why her daughter killed herself in front of her. Emily went completely still. The basement smelled of blood, fear, and the lavender candle Chloe used to love when she was little. I stopped. Chloe, put it down. You're scaring me. Good, she whispered. You should be scared, because if Mom walks out of here, she wins. She takes the house, the savings, the boys' college fund. You'll be living in a 1-bedroom apartment while she's on a beach with some lawyer from Florida. I heard her say it. David will be so destroyed after his mom dies. Sign anything. My knees almost buckled. I looked at Emily. Her eyes were begging now, not just for freedom, but for me to believe her. I didn't know what to believe anymore. Chloe kept talking, voice soft, almost dreamy. I started recording her 2 months ago. Tiny mics in the kitchen vents, her car, even her purse. I have 37 hours of her telling her sister how she can't wait for Grandma to die so you'll be an empty shell. How she's been moving money into a secret account since Christmas. Want me to play it for you? She reached with her free hand toward a Bluetooth speaker on the workbench. I raised both palms. No, I believe you. The scissors lowered a fraction. Then help me finish this, Dad. Make her sign the paper. We keep the house. We keep the family. The boys never have to know their mom tried to abandon them. Emily started shaking her head again, tears pouring. I looked at the legal pad on the floor, then at the duffel bag with the plane ticket sticking out, then at my daughter's eyes, once sky, blue, now storm, cloud gray, and I made a choice no father should ever have to make. I walked past Chloe, knelt in front of Emily, and gently peeled the duct tape from her mouth. She gasped, coughed, sobbed. David, thank God, she's lying. She's sick, please. I put a finger to her lips. Quiet, then I picked up the legal pad and a pen, held them out to her. Sign it, Em. Her face collapsed. What? You heard me. Sign the confession. Relinquish the house, custody, everything. Or I walk upstairs right now and call 911. One on our daughter for kidnapping and assault. She'll spend the next 10 years in a psych ward. Your choice. Chloe's breath hitched behind me. Emily stared at me like I was the monster now. I didn't blink. Clock's ticking, Em. Sign or I dial. Her hand shook so hard the pen left scratches, but she signed. Every page, initials, date, full legal name. When she finished, I took the scissors from Chloe's frozen hand, cut the zip ties, and helped my wife to her feet. She fell against me, sobbing into my chest. I held her for exactly 5 seconds. Then I whispered in her ear, so only she could hear, pack the rest of your bags tonight. You're on that flight tomorrow. If you ever contact me or the boys again, these recordings go to the police and your family. You'll never see a dime. Walk away clean or lose everything dirty. She pulled back, eyes wide with horror. Chloe was smiling now, real smile, little girl smile. I looked at my daughter and felt my soul crack in half. Go upstairs, Chloe. Make cocoa. Mom and I need to talk. She obeyed instantly, humming as she went. Emily was still staring at me. You're choosing her. I'm choosing what's left of my family, I said. Now get out of my house before I change my mind. She ran. Emily was gone before sunrise. I heard her suitcase wheels on the hardwood at 4:43 a.m. The front door click shut, then the Uber pulling away. I never went downstairs to watch. I just lay in bed staring at the ceiling while Chloe slept in the next room like a child after Christmas morning. For 3 days the house was quiet, too quiet. Chloe cooked breakfast every morning, humming Sarah McLachlan songs. She reorganized the pantry so we can start fresh. She even hung a new framed photo on the wall, just the two of us at her heis. Cool graduation, Emily cropped out. On the fourth morning, the doorbell rang at 7:12 a.m. I opened it to find 2 King County detectives Ramirez again, the same one from my mother's crash years ago, and a uniformed officer. Mr. Harper, we need to speak with you and your daughter. May we come in? My stomach dropped through the floor. Chloe appeared behind me in her pajamas, smiling sweetly. Hi, officers. Would you like coffee? Detective Ramirez's eyes weren't smiling. Chloe Harper, you're under arrest for kidnapping, false imprisonment, and assault. Chloe's face didn't change. Dad, I couldn't speak. They cuffed her right there in the foyer while she stared at me like I'd murdered her puppy. You promised? She whispered. You made Mom sign. You said we were safe. I finally found my voice. I said I wouldn't call the police on you. I never said Emily wouldn't. Turns out Emily hadn't gone to Florida. She'd driven straight to the precinct, covered in bruises, zip, eye cuts still bleeding, with a signed confession in her purse. She played them the hidden recordings. Turns out she'd been recording Chloe too for months, terrified of exactly this. The confession I forced her to sign, written under duress, in front of a witness who was holding scissors. Legally worthless. And now the proof of Chloe's 3-day basement prison was all over Emily's body, and the house cameras I forgot Chloe had disabled, but Emily had secretly turned back on from her phone before she was dragged downstairs. They found the binder, the egg cartons, the broken phone with the 911 call, the zip ties in the trash still flecked with Emily's blood. Chloe screamed the whole way to the car. You chose her. You always choose her. Grandma died because of her, and you still chose her. I stood on the porch and watched them drive away with my daughter in the back seat. That night, I sat in the basement alone, on the same concrete where Emily had been tied. I opened the bottle of bourbon we kept for anniversaries and drank until the room spun. Because here's the truth nobody saw coming. I didn't save my family. I destroyed it twice. Emily filed for divorce the next week. Emergency protective order. I didn't fight it. The house sold 6 months later. I kept only Mom's ashes and Chloe's childhood teddy bear. Chloe is at Echo Glen Juvenile Facility until she's 25, then transfers to adult prison if the psych eval says she's still a danger. Emily moved to Oregon. New name, new life. She sends the boys postcards on their birthdays. They don't open them, and me, I live in a 1-bedroom apartment now. Some nights I still hear the basement door creak. I never figured out which one of them was the real monster. Maybe both. Maybe me. Maybe all of us. The trial lasted 9 days. King County Juvenile Court, closed to the public because Chloe was still technically a minor when it started. But the leaks were everywhere. Honor student daughter imprisons mother in basement. Grief. Crazed teen or cold-blooded psychopath. Reporters camped outside my apartment. I stopped answering the door. The prosecutor painted Chloe as a calculating predator, showed the jury the binder labeled Project Home Forever, played the 93-minute recording Chloe made of Emily's phone calls, the ones where Emily said she couldn't wait for Mom to die so the medical bills would stop. They zoomed in on Chloe's calm voice while Emily screamed behind the tape. Stop fighting and this will be easier. The defense went for diminished capacity. Brought in a fancy psychiatrist from California who said Chloe had suffered complicated grief compounded by undiagnosed borderline personality disorder and acute stress from grandmother's terminal illness. They played childhood videos of Chloe crying at Disney, and because the teacups went too fast, the jury didn't buy it. On day 7, they called me to the stand. The prosecutor asked one question that broke me in front of everyone. Mr. Harper, when you forced your wife to sign that confession at Scissor Point, did you believe you were saving your daughter or punishing your wife? I looked at Chloe in her little gray suit, hair in a neat braid like she was going to church. I thought I was saving what was left of my family. I said, turns out I was just choosing which one to lose. The jury came back in 4 hours, guilty on all counts: kidnapping, false imprisonment, assault with a deadly weapon, the scissors, criminal confinement. Because she was 20, won by sentencing day, the judge waived juvenile jurisdiction. 18 years adult prison, eligible for parole in 12. When they read the verdict, Chloe didn't cry. She stood up, looked straight at me, and spoke for the first time in weeks. Thank you, Daddy. Now you finally know what alone feels like. They led her away in cuffs. Emily was in the back row. She met my eyes for half a second, then walked out without a word. The house sold the next month, $3.1 million. After fees and Mom's final bills, I walked away with enough to rent this apartment for the rest of my life, and still put $25,000 in trust for each of the boys when they turn 25. I see them twice a year now, supervised visits at a Denny's off I-5. They're 17 and 15, tall, quiet. They call me David, not Dad. Last visit, the younger one, Luke, finally asked the question they'd both been carrying. Was Mom really leaving us, or did Chloe make it all up? I looked at my son's Emily's eyes, my nose, and told them the only truth I have left. I don't know anymore, and that's the worst part. I keep one thing from the old house. The basement key. It hangs on a nail by my front door. Some nights I take it down and hold it until the metal burns my palm, because every time I close my eyes, I still hear two voices, Emily screaming behind duct tape, Chloe humming upstairs like nothing happened, and somewhere in the dark, my mother whispering the last words she ever said to me in that hospital bed. Take care of each other, David. Family is all we have. I failed her. I failed all of them, and 18 years from now, when Chloe walks out of prison on parole, I still don't know which one of us she'll come looking for first. 8 years have passed since the gavel fell. I'm 61 now, hair gone completely white. Hands shake when I hold coffee too long. I still live in the same one-bedroom apartment off Aurora Avenue, the one with the leaky faucet and the neighbor who plays saxophone at 2 a.m. Chloe gets out in 4 years. Parole board already sent the paperwork. Good behavior, therapy compliance, perfect record. They say she's rehabilitated. Emily moved to Bend, Oregon 4 years ago. New husband, some widower with a boat. New last name, new life. She sends Christmas cards with pictures of sunsets and dogs. I throw them away unopened. The boys are grown. Jake is 25, finishing his welding certificate. Luke is 23, enlisted in the Navy, stationed in San Diego. They call on my birthday and Father's Day, short conversations, safe topics, weather, work, the Seahawks. They never mention their mother. They never mention their sister. I work part-time at Home Depot Orange Apron, helping old men pick the right drill bits. It keeps the lights on and my mind busy. Every Sunday, I visit Mom's grave. I bring fresh tulips, her favorite, and I talk to her out loud like she's sitting on the bench beside me. Last Sunday was different. I was locking my apartment door at 10 p.m. when my phone rang. Unknown number, Washington area code. I almost let it go to voicemail. Then I answered, silence for 3 seconds. Then a woman's voice, older, rougher, but unmistakable. Hi, Daddy. My knees buckled. I slid down the wall until I was sitting on the hallway carpet. Chloe, yeah, it's me. They gave us phone privileges early for exceptional progress. I couldn't speak. She kept talking, calm, almost gentle. I just wanted to say I forgive you for choosing her that night, for letting them put me away. I get it now. You were scared, but I'm not angry anymore. Therapy helped, and I found God in here. Real God, not the one Mom pretended to believe in. I found my voice. How did you get this number? You never changed it in 18 years, Dad. Same number since I was 6. Some things don't die easy. Silence again. Then, when I get out, can I come home, just for coffee? 1 hour. I won't ask for money or the house or anything. I just want to sit at the kitchen table where you used to help me with math homework. One time, please. I closed my eyes and saw 3 things at once. 6-year-old Chloe losing her first tooth. 21-year-old Chloe holding scissors to her throat. 40-year-old Chloe standing at my door with prison tattoos and parole papers. I took the longest breath of my life. Yes, baby, 1 coffee, 1 hour, but only if you bring truth with you, all of it. No more games. She started crying, quiet, almost peaceful. Thank you, Daddy. See you in 4 years. The line went dead. I sat in that hallway until the overhead light timer clicked off and left me in the dark. I still don't know if I just opened the door to healing, to the final chapter of the nightmare, maybe both. This is David Harper reminding every parent watching, when your family starts breaking, the cracks don't always show on the surface. Sometimes they run straight through the people you love most. If your kid ever looks at you like you're the enemy, or your spouse starts measuring the house instead of holding your hand, get help before someone ends up tied in the basement. Because once the scissors come out, there's no putting the monster back in the box. Love isn't always enough. Sometimes it's the very thing that blinds you to the moment your child stops being a child and becomes the person who will burn the whole house down to keep you in it. I lost my mother. I lost my wife. I lost my daughter. I lost my son's trust, all in the name of family. If you take one thing from my story, take this: protect your peace, even when the threat is wearing your own DNA, especially then, because some doors, once locked from the inside, never open the same way again. If this story saved one family from becoming me, like it, share it, subscribe. I'll be here, waiting for that coffee in 4 years. Justice isn't always behind bars. Sometimes it's just learning to live with the echo of a basement door that never quite closes.